This podcast is a part of the More Podcast Network.
You know, the challenge of navigating paradoxes lies in the ability to hold seemingly contradictory truths or forces simultaneously without resorting to simplistic resolutions or binary thinking, if that makes sense. So they're, they're inherent to leadership and personal. It's like uh, paradoxes like leadership relationships and personal growth, and they often demand flexibility, humility. Like there's another paradox, and capacity to embrace complexity, right? So you've got to be able to accept ambiguity. You've got to be able to manage inner conflict because that comes up. You got to balance competing demands and create constant tension, right? So what leaders tend to do is they tend to want to release or reduce the tension rather than navigate it, learn to live in it. The minute I start to try to reduce the tension of a natural paradox, I get off purpose. I now I'm mission leak because now I'm trying to reduce my tension rather than have the vision turn out. And those tensions are natural.
That makes so much sense. And I think that the seasoned leaders that I have watched have challenged me in this as a young, aspiring, emerging leader in so many ways to be able to withstand having your ideals pulled apart and to forge forward while two things you hold dear are seemingly uh, irreconcilable. The seasoned leader is like strong enough. They have the grip to and the determination to manage that. Whereas, as an emerging leader, I'm like, okay, make this go away, eject. How do I get out of this?
Oh no, that's the point of this game, right? The game is, hey, let's live in the tension of the two. Like we're going to give you two things, right? And it's easier, I think, as a leader, right? I think we perceive that there's safety if we can choose one or the other. There's a perceived sense of safety as a human to say, if I make choice A or choice B, I don't want to live in that tension of both of them being a reality. Then I feel safer. So I'm going to gravitate towards, whatever it is, results over relationship. That feels safer. But the actual results, the actual what I really need to do, I see it as a pendulum, right? One side to the other. And you watch this in all things. Politics, when shit gets hard, we go one way really hard. And you see that happening. People get more polarized rather than can I live in the tension in the middle, right? And I don't know if this fits with your thinking, Dan, but the way that the world occurs to me is that people are always trying to be safe. We're always trying to create safety for ourselves. And so we end up landing on one side or the other because and I don't even say there is safety there. I say there's a perceived sense of safety if I can say, yes, it is inherently this, and I can place it in that, rather than living in the tension of, what, the truth is often a lot more, there is truth. And it's kind of this gray tension that's really hard and, vulnerable and scary and all those kind of things that I may not want to expose myself to.
Well, you hit on it. I would say to that point that if you talk to a lot of leaders, just and you talk about awareness, they'll think that that's like a luxury or something or a side. It's a damn weapon. Self awareness is a weapon because I think the key, in my experience, what you just talked about, the way I'd sum it, is that the key to successfully navigating paradox is embracing a both and thinking over an either or thinking. And that it's all mindset, which allows individuals and teams to find creative solutions, adapt to complexity, leverage the strengths of opposing forces to generate breakthroughs. That's a big deal. I had a friend named Ennio. He's dead now. He was a dear friend, Ennio Salucci, and he was a trainer with us. And he used to say, "We're either justifying our intentions or managing our impact. We're either being right or making right."
There is so much more power in the both and.
Both and I mean, there are certainly times when there's either or, but you get to the either or, the right either or, the ones that are going to be most potent when you're both and when you're thinking both and, you can narrow them down, and there are definitely, as Kierkegaard points out, there is either or, because there are value. It's like either I'm going to take the short term gain or the long term gain. Which one is it, right? But that comes from a both and thinking, as considering the complexity of what I'm facing in the context that I'm in.